Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our online evening event. Thank you very much to everybody for joining us this evening. We're just waiting for some more people to log in and join online who've had a couple of difficulties. So I'm just going to give it a minute or so before we get started. But just a little bit of housekeeping for you tonight, just so that you know, for those of you who have joined us and you are watching, we cannot see you, we cannot see your names. Everything that you do tonight is completely anonymous. You're watching it a bit like a TV programme. If you need anything at all tonight, if you've got any questions, you can just pop those in the Q&A chat box and one of our team will answer your question as quickly as we can. Right, so I can see that everybody's with us now. So let me just say, my name is Caroline from Stockport Jobs Match, and I'm going to be your host for this evening. Thank you for joining us for this online open event, What's Next After GCSEs, a bit of an intro guide to local colleges, sixth forms and training providers, and we've got an action-packed lineup for you tonight. These are the presentations that we're going to be covering off. So we've got 8 different colleges and sixth forms that we're going to be hearing from. They're each going to have about 10 minutes or so to give you a little bit of an overview about what courses they offer, their entry requirements, upcoming open events, extracurricular activities, pastoral support and the application process. And at the end of everybody's presentation, if there have been any questions that have been submitted in our Q&A function, then they will try to answer as many of those as they can within the allocated time. Any questions that we don't get round to answering live, they will, after their presentation has finished, try and respond to those in the chat function. And everything that we don't get round to answering tonight, we will provide a web page full of the answers for you to have a look at, and we'll send that round to everyone who has booked via Eventbrite. You can also email us your questions if that's easier, if you're struggling to use the Q&A function on your screens, to info@stockport-jobsmatch.co.uk, and we will try to provide a written response within a couple of days. So just before we get started, tonight's event is brought to you on behalf of Stockport Jobs Match and Stockport Council. It's part of a week-long event that we are delivering at the moment called Post-16 Careers Week. So if you are watching as a student in years 10 and 11, or as a parent or carer as a student in years 10 and 11, you'll hopefully have received a letter home from your school telling you a little bit about this event, what your school is doing, how they're getting involved with the event throughout the course of the week, and how you at home can access information that will help support you in some of those next step decisions as you prepare to leave secondary school and finish your GCSEs. As part of that provision of resource, one of the key things that we've made available this year is a college and sixth form digital prospectus. This is a complete guide to all of the different education and training pathways, so it explains the differences between the different types of qualifications, from A levels to T levels, study programmes to BTECs, NVQs to apprenticeships. It's also got a really handy courses matrix in there so that you can find out what you can study where, so you can find out which colleges and sixth forms are offering which different courses. It's also got a full listing of all of the different colleges and sixth forms with their prospectus, open dates and contact information, as well as some really handy useful contacts of things that you can access, like RPass free travel from 16 plus, and other websites and resources that you may go to for additional information. If you haven't downloaded a copy of that, you should be able to scan the QR code on this screen, or head over to the stockport-jobsmatch.co.uk website, click on the Post-16 Careers Week link, you'll be able to download a copy there. As well as that, there are a whole host of resources available to help you start having conversations at home, from bite-sized videos to career guides with the latest labour market insights for what careers look like here in Stockport and across Greater Manchester. Some fantastic student planning tools, from career pathway planners to how to set a plan B in motion, to how to research what jobs are available in different sectors, plan your budget for going off to college, etc. And lots of really great advice and blog articles on how to decide on your next steps. You can view all of that by going over to the Stockport Jobs Match website, clicking at Careers Hub at the top, selecting schools and colleges, and all of the resources are there online. So that's the prospectus, all of the student tools and all of the videos that you as students or your young person, if you're here as a parent carer, will be getting to watch this week. There's also virtual work experience opportunities promoted on there, apprenticeships and part-time jobs too. So just as a bit of an overview, one thing to mention before I move on, we do have another event coming up this week as part of Post 16 Careers Week. This takes place on Thursday evening. So if any of you have older siblings or older children in the house, or maybe you're starting to think, how do my decisions at 16 impact on what I want to do after I've finished A-levels or an apprenticeship? Maybe you might be thinking about whether you're going to head off to university or do a degree apprenticeship or think about some of those alternative options. We've got another event on Thursday with all of the universities, so if you haven't got tickets to that and you think it might be of interest, please do book. So just before we jump into some of the college and sixth form presentations tonight, I just wanted to touch briefly on the fact that this is a really pivotal time for young people in terms of making decisions. Up until this point in your career till now, the only decisions that you'll have had to make is really what subjects to choose in year 9, what to do at your GCSEs. And all of a sudden you're flooded with a whole host of decisions, having to leave the place of study that you've been at for quite some time now. Do you go down an academic or vocational route? What's the environment like that you're going to study in? Is it going to be classroom based or on the job? And there's lots of things that you need to decide, and it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So just to give you a brief overview of what those decisions might look like stripped down, you've obviously got A-levels, which everybody pretty much knows about. A-levels are the obvious choice if you've got subjects that you prefer, that you like studying in a classroom environment, that you're good at exams. Then you've got T-levels, which have only been around for a few years now, but maybe some of you might have siblings who've gone down the T-level route. These are more of a sector-based choice, so you'll study one T-level subject, and that is equivalent to 3 A-levels. You spend 80% of your time in a classroom environment and 20% doing a work placement, so that's 45 days per year, and it means they're assessed by a mixture of exams, coursework and that placement, and the college supports you in providing that work experience placement. It's not all down to you to find that by yourself. You've then got BTECs and NVQs, which are more of a skills-based option. They combine kind of the classroom-based elements with practical hands-on learning of that particular skill. They're mostly assessed by coursework and practicals, but some do have an exam element as well. And then you've got the apprenticeship route. So they're obviously based in employment similar to a job, with 80% of your time, so the opposite of T-levels, 80% of your time doing the job itself and 20% doing classroom or e-learning, and they are a mixture in terms of their assessment. So there's usually an endpoint assessment and coursework as well. Now, it's really important to start thinking about these decisions as soon as you possibly can. And there's lots of logical steps that you can take in order to break that decision down. But we would recommend that you start having conversations at home as early as possible. So the first stage is to think about your criteria, your personal selection list. What is important to you? Is the number one priority the environment that you're going to study in? Is the number one priority the convenience of the location? Is it how it feels when you go and look around somewhere? Is it the pastoral support? Is it that they offer the subjects that you specifically want to do in that combination? So think about what your decision making criteria is that you're going to assess your choices against. The next stage is exactly what you're doing here tonight. Go and gather as much information as you can. Look on websites, look on social media pages, speak to people who have gone to that college sixth form or studied with that training provider. Next, look at alternatives. It is really easy to think that A-levels are the safe option because you're good at a particular subject. Have you thought about a T-level? Have you looked into what that involves? Have you looked at whether a BTEC learning environment might be better for you, or the exam structure might work better? They are all worth the same. They're all level 3 qualifications. But being aware of what those alternatives are, in case you make the wrong choice, you start something something, you decide it's not for you, or you go along there and you've picked a particular subject and you want to drop that and try something else, knowing what you need to get to that next stage beyond that is really, really important, to make sure that you can have a good plan B in place in case you need it, but also to feel like you've made an informed decision. So weigh up all the evidence, go back to that original selection criteria and make sure you're making the right choice, not just based on where your siblings have gone to or what your teacher says or where your friends are going, but what is the right choice for you based on that initial criteria that you set out. Then take action, your application process, your open days, writing your personal statement, your interviews if required, etc. And remember that you still have lots of time before you start to review your decision and make changes if you need to. So that was a little bit of an introduction to me. If anybody needs more advice or has general questions about any of those available pathways, you can start adding those into the chat now, and any of our guest speakers tonight will start responding to them. So this is the lineup for tonight. So you can take a screenshot of that now if that's easier to know what the running order is and when we're going to be bringing up each of those guest speakers. And obviously you can pop questions in the chat at any point. So I'm going to switch over my presentation slides now. I'm going to introduce you to our first speaker for this evening, who is John Morrison from Aquinas. So I'll just pass the screen over to John now and to your slides up, and I'll let John introduce himself. We're running a little bit ahead of schedule, which is perfect because it means that we'll have time for extra questions at the end. So I'll pass over to you now, John. Your slides will be on the screen in a second.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Thank you for inviting us to this fantastic event as well. As Caroline said, my name's John. I'm Head of Careers at Aquinas College. So Aquinas College, we're based in Stockport. We're a fairly large sixth form college, so we've got year 12, year 13 students, so that's lower six and upper six students. I'm going to talk a little bit about what to expect from the college, the types of courses we offer, the sort of like maybe destinations that students progress on to afterwards, as well as the additional facilities and the other sort of extracurricular activities that we also run and offer. So yeah, so that's just a nice little background of the college there. I guess at this point, it's really, as Caroline's saying, to start really considering your options. And I would certainly echo that and say, consider all your options. It's what is right for you, and to even perhaps going to attend open events, have a look at different colleges, similar colleges. It's the atmosphere, the environment, but also T-levels. That's quite an exciting qualification happening at the moment, as well as other options such as apprenticeships. So you've got to think really what is going to be the good sort of option for yourself, but you can still apply for everything. And then when you get your results and your GCSE results day in August next year, then that's where you can kind of make that sort of like choice in the next steps. So next slide, please. We'll move on from that, Caroline. So that's just a brief video, which is definitely available on our college website, and I'll put the information in the Q&A chat later on. So we offer quite a huge range of courses, around just over 50 different types. The curriculum is kind of catering for students who can progress on to higher education, university, as well as different types of apprenticeships. So we have many students over the years who've gone on to higher and degree level apprenticeships, as well as taking gap year opportunities and employment. The courses we offer, you could do A-levels and BTEC courses. There's flexible ways that you could study at Aquinas, and that can be taking either 1 or 2 A-levels alongside a BTEC course. So that might be useful if you're more interested in coursework-based courses, as well as preparing for essay writing and examinations. It may also depend about what you want to do afterwards. So as Caroline mentioned, and I'd certainly echo it, that kind of careers research now is quite useful, and definitely attend that Thursday evening session to kind of sort of get that sense about university and the next steps. Little and Often is quite a good example where you can kind of think about where you're using your time to do this research and getting involved in events and activities. So A-levels and BTEC courses we offer, you could do, for example, our law course has either A-level or BTEC. So it depends really on your preference, how you like to study, the content, and what it could do for you afterwards. Alongside our courses, we have a range of support. There'll be different staff members that can help you. We're quite a community sense. Our motto is to be more. So alongside the Aquinas College and the way you're studying, you'll have specialist subject teachers who can help support you with your academic skills, develop your level 2 skills that you're doing at the moment, GCSEs up until A-level and BTEC courses. If you would like additional learn support, we've got a big learn support team who can support in terms of if you just wanted to develop your essay writing skills a bit further, or work on that time management to get coursework done to deadlines or examination conditions, or if you've got additional support that you'd like to put in place for exam arrangements, then learn support is a fantastic team that we work with. From a pastoral sense, we want our students to feel supported throughout, and that's also in a holistic way, not just your subject areas. We've got lots of different types of specialist support, so every student will be assigned a personal tutor at the start of the academic year alongside other students in that tutor group, and they'll go through the 2-year learner journey as well as the curriculum areas. You'll also develop a sense of what happens next, so there'll be different career inputs as well as other useful, important things to prepare for the next steps after Aquinas College. As I said, I'm head of careers, so we have 3 careers advisors on site at Aquinas, and students can book appointments as well as other activities they can be doing. We're a Catholic college, so we'll have a chapel and a chaplaincy available for you to use and access, and we do have weekly mass that all students can choose to attend. Our student council is student-led, so you can get involved. You can also pass on insights for them to help you improve your student experience. And we've got Learning Centre, so you can use our fully stocked library, our IT suite. So there's lots there that we can get involved with. So next slide, please. Sorry. Really do, and I'll mention the date to come to Aquinas, because it's have a look yourself, and the fantastic facilities in terms of it's quite still a modern building. It was done in about 2010, so it's there to cater for students' needs. If you're doing creative courses, then we've got a large lecture theatre that's used for performances, to do with the courses, as well as enrichment activities, a dance studio. If you're interested in creative courses as well, or next steps, we've got a fully stocked media facilities, Macs, and ways to develop your skills in that sense. We've got sports hall, and that includes outdoor facilities. We've got football pitches as well as table tennis courts, and the fitness suite if you just want to get involved and just stay active at Aquinas. Next slide, please. So alongside your courses, we're also helping you to consider what's going to make you stand out in terms of the next steps after Aquinas. So when we're thinking of future employment opportunities, universities, apprenticeship providers, they would want to see in your applications to those organisations, what have you contributed? What have you developed your skills, use your time well, basically put yourself out of your comfort zone. So we do have things that we help you to do that. So we have our enrichment activities. Next slide, please. So alongside your courses, we would encourage and support students to think about how to challenge yourself, and mentioned before a student union where students will support kind of the student voice across the year, as well as get involved with meetings, develop sort of our college policy to make it more in line with what students are needing and requiring. If you're doing the Duke of Edinburgh Award at school, you can take that forward to the Gold Award, as well as other sort of range of activities. If you wanted to maybe start up your own business, the Young Enterprise would be a great one, as well as Teachers Tomorrow. So if you're interested in a career in teaching in the future, then we do have those sorts of enrichment activities available, even just to learn essential skills such as slang language. So there's lots there that the college offers in terms of challenge yourself. We also want to support students who want to develop themselves to apply for top universities. If you heard the term Russell Groups, so it's kind of like the University of Manchester, Sheffield and so on, as well as Oxford and Cambridge. we do have that support there. We have specialist support, so we have teachers in place who can support with those sorts of aspirational sort of universities, as well as if you're interested in specific medical, dentistry, veterinary science, as well as other healthcare like physiotherapy or nursing. Our staff there are able to support that. We do have those dedicated, as well as our Stretch and Challenge program, which is called AAA program, and you go through 2 years of developing your kind of awareness of what's happening in the next steps, but also to kind of think, in addition to your courses, how to really increase your knowledge and to develop your skills for those sort of future applications. As well as that, you can get involved with our sport activities, and we've got a range of sporting teams. So on Wednesdays, usually we have football, basketball, male and female teams to get involved with. So that can be on the competitive side. However, if you just wanted to just get involved and improve your fitness, then that is also there for you. Next slide, please. I should say a bit more about arts and culture, but that's not right at all. But that could just be things like podcasting. We've got Aquinas magazine, so if you're interested in journalism, graphic design, and other careers related into that, then that's there as well. And we do trips and travel, so the whole range, as you can see there. International, I guess, is what Aquinas is about. Next slide, please. And next slide, please. Next slide, please, just because we're running out a little bit of time. So we do encourage this Aquinas community sense, and our students improve it in terms of we celebrate our patron saint, St. Thomas Aquinas, on Aquinas Day, as well as other options. Could you just go back a little bit, sorry, Caroline, just to the previous slide. So we do have those results from last summer, which we're very proud about, and just wanted to highlight them whilst I'm here. And next slide, please. I think this is the final one. So just the sort of important advice, really, just doing the very best is sort of like this is expectation now in year 11, and usually it's English, maths and science, which are important aspects of the entry requirements for Aquinas College, in terms of if you gain 6 GCSEs, at least 4 in grade wise, that should keep options open. But please do check on our Aquinas website for more information about particular courses and the certain grades required for that. And then finally, we've got our final open event, which is happening on Saturday, 4th of November. For more information, please visit our website, as well as the admissions, because the application is now open to get involved. So that's it from me. As I said, please do visit us, check out the website. If you have more questions, please use the chat facility. I'll be around for a little bit, and then I'll pass you to the recommended email contact from Aquinas College.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much, John. Really detailed presentation there. I know that there is so much to get through within a 10-minute time slot. So thank you for cramming it all in. There have been several questions for you in the chat. So if you've popped a question on for John, he will now get round to answering all of those. I'm just going to pass you over to our next presenter now, who is Michelle from Stockport College. Who is going to be talking to you a little bit about their entry requirements and a little bit of an overview of extracurricular activities and student voice as well. So I'll pop you live now. Over to you, Michelle.
Okay, hello, and thank you very much, Caroline, for inviting me on to represent our colleges that are across the Stockport Borough. So my name is Michelle McLaughlin, as Caroline mentioned, and I'm the Student Experience Manager for the Trafford College Group, which includes Marple Sixth Form College, Stockport College and the Cheadle College. Move on to the next slide. I'm going to just tell you a little bit about the courses we offer, but obviously we have a range of professionals who can give you further details about them. So looking at Stockport College, as you can see, that's a really wide range of courses that we've got at Stockport College. It tends to be trade-based, but we have a range of other courses, and we have quite a large provision for T-level courses if you want to get involved in those. We have a particularly fabulous creative digital media area, brand new. If you're familiar with the Stockport area, we've had fantastic facilities, finished off during the last academic year, all ready for use. We've got state-of-the-art construction and building services across 3 buildings, and as you can see, a really broad range of courses there at Stockport College. Stockport College is located on the A6 on Wellington Road, so it's very accessible for anywhere across the Stockport borough. If we move on to the next slide, please. Okay, Marple Sixth Form College. So we, as a college group, we merged with Marple and Cheadle in 2021. So we are part of a college group. So the offer that we have in terms of our extracurricular, etc., covers all of our sites, which is a huge bonus for our students, if you like, because you get to know students from across all the different sites. So at Marple, it's a sixth form college, so it's quite academically based. Lots of A-level provision across there, BTEC and T-levels as well that are running there. And we can give you a full list of the T-level provision. If you take details of my name, you can signpost any questions that you want to me, and I can make sure that you get the right answers. So a really broad range of courses there at Marple Sixth Form College. Moving on to Cheadle, again, it's split half and half, if you like. So there's some areas that are around the trade areas and some that are around our academics, but a really broad range of courses again at Cheadle, and a great environment to get involved with there. So moving on to the elements of the study programme. So as part of your study programme, if you're coming into college, if you haven't already your maths and English or got a 4 in your maths and English, then you would do your maths and English with us. You'd have student experience in college life, which is the area that I'm massively proud of because I get really involved in all the fun stuff that you get to do at college. Work experience, obviously you'll get some work experience, and your core curriculum course and your tutorial programme. So these are all parts of the study programme that is offered across our 3 college sites for everybody that comes into one of our colleges. Moving on. Okay, so supporting you, we have a broad range of support mechanisms across our college group. And as I say, whether you go to Stockport, Cheadle or Marple, the same services are available everywhere. You'll have a designated personal tutor, pastoral support mentors and learning support, careers and financial support. We also offer something called a Just Ask service, which is quite unique to us in terms of our offer. And it's at these times we may need support, you may need support, or any of us might need support. And on a Just Ask basis, our students can come in, they can have a breakfast in the morning and a quick chat with the pastoral team if they need to, or just have their breakfast on the way to their classes so that they can feel that they're really ready for the day and really ready to take the best that they can offer, that they can get from the lessons that they're going into during the day. So we are more than just a learning provider. We look to promote and deliver the whole person, the whole package to you, making sure that you're well supported to do your very best at college. Next slide. So, as I mentioned before, I'm really proud of our extracurricular offer. We have really active students across the whole of our college group, and we're in the unique position that because we are a number of different colleges together, we offer these groups and membership on an inclusive basis to everyone. And it's one of the very few, as I say, it's quite unique that you will get to mix with students from the other colleges. So you may find a course at Cheadle College that you really want to go onto, but you'll also get the opportunity to mix with students from each of our other colleges as part of some of these groups. So our Equalities Council and our Green College Assembly that you can see on there, they are both campaign groups. They campaign widely on local issues and on national issues. and get involved. We're very privileged that we get to present at Stockport Council every year in March on issues that face young people, and they go and present in front of the Children and Family Scrutiny Committee and make their case. They also, so we have student question time every year, and we're just coming up to Parliament Week. That's happening in November, and we've got our student question time this year going to be held at the Bridgewater Hall. We've got Andy Burnham on the first panel, along with some of our college principals, and the second panel we've got our students and professionals from other areas across addressing local skills. So that's one of the key things that the Equalities Council deliver, student-led. Green College Assembly, we get involved in all of the sustainability programmes that are going on locally. We're very involved with climate action now. So if you're interested in a sustainable future and looking after our planet and our locality, then the Green College Assembly is for you. Our debate club has been a shining light. We only launched it last year, and we've got so many students that want to go and debate. We've actually got a debate coming up next week where we're taking our debate out to Dial Park Primary School, and we are going to be, our debate team is going to be working with a debate team in the primary school to look at how you debate skillfully and get your message across in a professional way. Mental Health Champions, another successful group that we have. So if you want to support your fellow students and support their mental health and their development and growth, you can get involved with our Mental Health Champions. We're partnered with Cooth, so Cooth come and do a delivery of training to all of our students that get involved in Mental Health Champions. And another new group this year, the Skills Builder Champions. So this is looking at digital pioneers. If your thing is around digital, we work with external partners to develop your digital skills. We also take part in world skills competitions. So all of our trade areas are entrants into the world skills competitions. So a really exciting opportunity to develop your skills as you're learning. And also we work with the Literacy Guild, the National Literacy Guild, around English skills and English development. So if you want to get involved in literacy, that's another good group for you to get involved in. Moving on. Get Social. Yes, a range of social groups that we've got on offer. So we have our LGBTQ plus group that you can get involved with. Our LGBTQ plus group works at each of our college sites. We have an active student group over at each site. A safe social space. You can lead on inclusive events and get involved in Pride every year if that's what you'd like to do. So our LGBTQ plus groups are really popular. Okay, we also have our book clubs and our events planning team. I'm going to move on quite quickly, and our Fit and Well group. I'm hoping the next slide is going to be the video, so I'd like you to hear student leaders and course reps for each of our curriculum areas and student ambassadors that work to develop their skills, interpersonal skills, working with on open days. So we've got a very short video, which is only a minute, and I want you to hear the video because it's our students' voices. So I'd love you to be able to hear that. In the chat, Caroline, I don't know whether it can play from there.
Yeah, it's just give me a sec, Michelle. I'm just trying to tee it up now, so just bear with me.
Thank you. I've got no sound here.
Wants to learn, understand the world around, and overcome.
Be part of these events, not just McFed, any events like that. These events are actually about bringing people together, learning something new, knowing what you don't know before, and that is going to be a very good experience for you.
It is not only the event, it is giving you the chance to meet new people, and another thing that will make your confidence, that will improve your confidence.
Right, have some fun. Also, to meet some new people, Your friends develop some passions for different sports.
There's a great support network in college, and ultimately everyone's in the same boat you are. It doesn't necessarily take a captain to make a ship, but it definitely takes a crew.
It's quite challenging, but it's an exciting experience. You can have a great achievement and gain some self-accomplishment. So I would say take part in what you feel you're comfortable with. Along the way, you might find that you might want to pitch yourself out there a bit more. But as long as you take the first step, like I did by joining the Aquatics Council, then you'll find that everything will come easily.
I would recommend joining different clubs.
Oops. I think we've lost the sound there.
Great, and going to the sports clubs or the crafts clubs, it just gives you a place where you can relax. Definitely.
I'm just going to stop that video because I think we're glitching on the sound a little bit, so we're going to pop it into the chat for you now instead, if that's okay. So thank you very much to Michelle for joining us. We have had some questions in the chat and some questions on the email that I'm going to post in a second. So thank you very much to you, Michelle, for tonight.
Okay.
Next up we have got Thank you. Next up, we've got Helen Roberts joining us from Hazel Grove Sixth Form. So I'll let Helen introduce herself now whilst I just bring your slides up for you. Helen, over to you.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Helen Roberts and I am the Assistant Director of Hazel Grove Sixth Form. And I'm genuinely thrilled to be meeting with you this evening to tell you all about our Sixth Form provision. If you don't know, we're situated on Jackson's Lane in Hazel Grove in Stockport, so we are relatively local. That's the and this is our vision statement, which you might like to just take a moment to read, which really does sum up the academic nature of our Sixth Form provision. Go to the next slide if you like. So the aim of tonight really is to give you a flavour of what we will be offering here at Hazel Grove Sixth Form so that you can make a truly informed decision about your post-16 education, choosing a provider that has an offer to match your aspirations, but equally knowing what's going to be expected of you in return. The aim of this presentation is to give you an overview of our ethos and to offer so that you can leave equipped with all the information you need to make an informed decision about your post-16 education. We're confident you'll find a really happy, purposeful and caring environment here at Hazel Grove Sixth Form, and you'll be certainly supported to achieve the A-level grades necessary to progress to the future of your choice. And we are steadfast in our approach and commitment to you. We are unashamedly academic, unapologetically aspirational, and we have uncompromising standards. But it's really important that you know that, put quite simply, that we will expect the same of you. During our visit from Ofsted in January 2022, our Sixth Form was rated as outstanding, and we're very proud of the offer that we have for our students, and we're really excited this year to unveil brand new facilities. So our Sixth Form building is literally brand new and it opened this September. It's situated on our current main school site, so it is an 11 to 18 site, but the Sixth Form itself is a self-contained unit separate to the main school. Students have access to their own independent study facilities, they have computers, they have their own refectory, their own classrooms. They also have an outdoor seated area, which is completely separate from the main school, so they get that status that's required of those older students. And with a brand new build, of course, comes brand new facilities, and our inaugural class of 2025 are already engaging with all of the opportunities that we offer. So as you can see from this slide, our entry requirements are high. We are unashamedly academic, and we only offer an A-level pathway. We need all students to be on the most appropriate courses for their future aspirations, and our courses are all linear. This means that they have to be studied for a full 2 years. Our flagship Sixth Form in Cheadle Hulme, we are part of the Loreto Trust, has been consistently celebrated for outstanding outcomes. And in 2022, 80% of all A-level grades were A star to B at our sixth form, at our sister sixth form, with 65% choosing to go on to Russell Group universities. So following the same principles and educational model, our sixth form is built on the academic heritage of Cheadle-Hulme's sixth form, and we make no apology having the same high aspirations for the students in our care. We have 100 places available for our September intake, and all students, regardless of whether they have attended Hazel Grove High School or not, will have to meet our entrance criteria to gain their place. Full details of our admission policy is on our website. Like most sixth form providers, students here will study 3 A-levels, although unlike many other providers, we offer you more contact time with your teachers, 10 lessons per subject per fortnight. This additional contact time means that you have more access to the experience, advice and guidance that your teacher will bring to enable you to be better prepared when you're directed toward independent study tasks. If you wish to take further maths, this would be your 4th subject in addition to maths A-level. If you're not taking A-level maths, we also strongly encourage students to study core maths, which complements a number of our courses and ensures that you'll be competitive in those future applications, both here and abroad, because you'll have a qualification beyond GCSE. The bulk of our subjects are what we call facilitating subjects, the most traditionally accepted academic subjects, giving you access to the world's leading universities. However, all of our courses are respected academic A-levels. We also run a creative hub for students who have more artistic tendencies. You can look at our website again for further information about our courses, or do come and see us at our open day, our open evening rather, which is the 8th of November, to find out more. I must stress how important it is for you to research your subjects well. There'll be subjects here you might not have studied at GCSE, for example, and you must actively make an informed choice. Success at A-level stems from enjoying the subjects you're studying. This is your chance to narrow down and specialise in 3 disciplines. So whilst we all know that students at sixth form will work very hard, but we also recognise that academic success alone is not enough in this very competitive world. To this end, we have an extensive electives programme, which provides you with opportunities to enrich your academic curriculum, as shown on this slide. We base this electives programme around our 4 cornerstones of academic aspiration, culture, creativity and rhetoric, competition and physical endeavour, leadership and service. There really is something for everybody, and these electives are developed and changed over the course of the year. We also run the extended project qualification, which is a really useful course to support applications to competitive universities, and is looked at quite favourably by the Russell Group. And students develop a whole range of skills doing courses of this nature. The EPQ is very popular in Loreto Trust sixth forms, and it's an essential qualification for those who want to apply for those prestigious universities. We also run an Oxbridge elective and an elective for medicine and veterinary students and dentistry students, those who are interested in applying for those highly competitive courses. We're a hub for HE+ for Cambridge, and we have strong links with a variety of universities from the Russell Group, like Sheffield Imperial College and Manchester universities, as well as St Peter's College, Oxford and Corpus Christi. We fully expect our students to be engaged in supercurricular activities, and we support them by giving them time on their timetables in order to engage with these. We also have the Elite Pathway, which sees the University of Loughborough join in partnership with our students, and this supports our future sporting stars. Students who are on the Elite Pathway are given some support with their application process, and they also have a fully equipped gym on site that they have access to. We run a whole range of trips and visits to support university applications, and we run a programme called Loreto Launchpad, which is a weekly session where students receive a rich diet of lectures from guest speakers, university providers, apprenticeship providers, speakers from industry, PHSCE and citizenship presentations and workshops. There's a whole host of things there available to support students with their futures. Sixth form flies by really quickly. and we want to make sure that you utilise the 21 months that you have in a sixth form centre, ensuring that you make the best of the time that you've got and make those competitive applications for the future. Our programme Life After Loris is a programme designed to fully support students in those applications, and we offer enormous support for writing applications, including visits to universities, guest speakers, going to higher education fairs, really enabling our students to make good choices about their futures. We're very proud of our pastoral provision here at Hazel Grove Sixth Form. We have a dedicated head of pastoral care, and we have personal tutors who see our students daily. We take our students' mental health and well-being very seriously, and we recognise that sometimes A-levels don't always go as planned. So we're there to support with a mentoring programme and to support with any special educational needs that students might have. So, why might Hazel Grove Sixth Form be a good choice for you? Well, how are we different? What makes us so special? What commitment do we require from you? In a word, we believe that it is our culture and ethos. As with all schools in the Loris Trust, we believe in excellent attendance, excellent behaviour, and the merits of hard work. It's a partnership between us and you. We have high expectations which allow you to thrive academically, pastorally, and socially. And it's this combination that we believe will prepare you for the next stage of your life, be that a university, a degree, apprenticeship, or a career. So why not come and see us? Our open evening is the 8th of November. We would absolutely love for you to come along, see our facilities, and most importantly, meet our students. Thank you very much for your time this evening.
That was brilliant. Thank you so much, Helen. A huge amount to get in there, and we have had a lot of questions for you in the chat, so if you want to pop over there now and answer some of those, that's absolutely fantastic. Quite a few about how Hazel Grove differs to some of the other Loris Trust sixth forms as well. So I'm just going to tee up our next presenter now, who joins us from Loreto. So over to Danny, and your slides will be with you in a second.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to Caroline and the team at the Stockport Jobs Match again. It's always lovely to do this event. I hope you're all well. And I get the pleasure of talking about Loreto. I'm a senior manager at Loreto Sixth Form College. I have been at the college for 12 years, and so I'm very, very proud to be able to tell you all about the successes at Loreto. So the biggest thing about Loreto is its community. We are a very successful community. You can measure success in a range of different ways, and on the screen now you'll be able to see many of the ways that you can measure success. So our pass rate being 99.3%, albeit our high grades rate, or 100% on our BTEC courses, for example. If you just click to the next slide, please, Caroline, and you can see some of those successes there. And in that, being successful, we've got to think about how do you compare nationally. And so on this next table, you'll be able to see where we compare. Why am I putting national data up? Because our young people, when you come to us, you'll be competing when you leave Loreto across the country to with other people going to university, be it from Bristol, from Birmingham, from London. You'll be competing with them, and therefore being up against national competitors, you need to be able to be above the national average. And so on this next slide, you'll be able to see that in its full. And you can see that we beat, we're above the national average on all of those measures, and we're very proudly above national average on that as well. So what can you study with us? You can study advanced levels, be it A levels or BTEC level 3 or equivalents. And to do A level at Loreto, you need 4 4s and 2 6s essentially. That's a simplistic way of looking at it. They do differ, but do have a look at our entry requirements on our website. Students will either do 3 A levels, or they'll do a full-time level 3 extended diploma, or they'll do a mixture of the two. We do offer intermediate courses as well at level 2, and we also offer GCSE maths and English, but we don't want anyone to be aspiring to resit their maths and English. We want you to use the brilliant provision you've got in your high schools and really work your hardest. So how might that look on your timetable? As I say, 3 A levels on the left, or you might do a full extended diploma. Obviously, every student, when they come to us, will have a lesson of RE and a tutorial, but students might choose to study both A-levels and a BTEC or level 3 equivalent, and that's absolutely fine. That's perfectly acceptable. Doing a BTEC level 3, if you did the extended diploma, you would get, let's say, 3 distinction stars. Now that is equivalent of getting 3 A stars at A level. They're equivalent in UCAS tariff points. So please just make sure you choose the course that suits you, the individual, to go forward. We also offer the EPQ, the extended project qualification. Now that as a qualification is worth half an A level, is a fantastic research qualification, and 100% of students at Loreto have gained an A star to B grade in this just last year. 92% of those got an A star to A grade as well, so it's a brilliant discriminator for university. So particularly for students who might be thinking they want to do 4 A levels, it's a really good discriminator to do there, so we offer that. As well as that, we offer fantastic pastoral support. Now, as I say, I'm a leader in sixth form education, and I would expect for any other college to be able to say that they've got an excellent curriculum, because that's our job. We need to educate the people who come through our gates. But what we are really proud of is that everybody at Loreto, every teacher is a tutor. I'm a form tutor as well, and being able to be with a group of 24 students and support them pastorally through their well-being and needs is a wonderful thing. In this picture here, one of those students started on our Pathways course at level 1, moved away up to a supported internship and has gone on to work full-time with that company. And another of those students did 3 A levels and went on to university. Both equally successful pathways in life, and they've been really enriched by having that holistic support at Loreto as well. And that's one of the many reasons why we have been rated by Ofsted as outstanding. We were inspected in 2023, the published report came out, and we are very proudly outstanding in all areas. And part of that is our central ethos of being able to educate the whole person. Next slide, please, Caroline, if you could. Because central to what we do at Loreto is making sure that not just in the curriculum areas, it's in the wider things that you do. So please make sure you take advantage of all those extra things. And on the screen that'll be coming up next, you'll be able to see some of those enrichment opportunities. So you might be quite musical. You might want to perform at our Royal Northern College of Music concert, or you might be quite sporty with netball and basketball and football. You might be really good at debating. So I'm sure anyone watching the call tonight will tell us if their young people are good at arguing or not, or even getting involved in our musical enrichment, such as the college musical, etc. We're also, you might be quite aspirational and you want to go to university, but maybe Oxford or Cambridge, and 17 of our students have gone on to secure places at Oxbridge this year, as well as 63 students going on to study their medicine, dentistry or veterinary science. Now, if you do want to study medicine at university, you need to study A-levels in biology and chemistry. And to do that, you need a 7 and 2 6s in your maths and science. However, the third A-level choice with that combination can be anything. We've had students go on to Oxford that have studied biology, chemistry and fine art, for instance, and they've still gone on to study medicine. So that third choice really can be in a broad range. So how do you apply to us? Well, you can download an application from our website. Do select your school, because there's a barcode that's attached to your school on the application form. And they will be with your school as well. We've left some of those. But crucially is your reference. The reference from your school is really important. They'll tell us your predicted results, but they will also indicate your attendance record and your punctuality. Now, these two things we do highlight because it is one of the discriminating factors about being successful in your application is your attendance and punctuality record. So please aim high. You are statistically less likely to get the highest grade if you have a lower attendance than 98%. 3 times less likely to get the highest grade in a subject. So make sure you aim high for that. We've been on the same site since 1851. We've got a long history of academic success, but we have invested in the college. We've invested in our campus, and we've made sure that campus is very modern and up to date. The building, which will be picked on the left on your screens, was built in 2010, and that cost 20 million at the time. And we really have invested in our green campus. We have a sustainability manager at Loreto, one of the only 10 colleges in the country that has one. And we really have worked closely with Manchester City Council to aim for carbon neutrality and aiming for net zero, and all of those really good objectives. We've also got an apiary of bees very recently, which is quite exciting. to help with our local sort of ecological commitment as well. Because our history is all about your future. We want you to be successful. That's who we're really investing in. And whilst you've had your time with us and you've celebrated it to have a wonderful time, we will hire out the Midland Hotel in Manchester, and you can celebrate and party the night away. And there should be some lovely photos coming up on the screen in a moment. But crucially, to find out more, you can come to our open days. You might have come to us last week to our open day on Saturday. It was very, very, bustling and busy. It was lovely to see so many people there, and we'd have our final one on Sunday as well. If you are unable to book a place for that because they are going like hotcakes, do just drop us an email at office@loreto.ac.uk, and we'll be able to get in touch with you there. It has been a pleasure. I hope that's been informative, and I look forward to answering more questions in the chat. But have a lovely evening, everyone, and good luck in year 11. It's an important year for you. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Danny. Really nice way to finish, and a really good view there of what life is like at Loreto. So thank you very much for sharing that with us tonight. Again, there's been more questions for you in the chat, so I'll let you jump off and answer that. I think we all recognise tonight that it is such a hard task to get everything into a 10-minute time slot that we have to just rely on the chat, which is absolutely buzzing tonight. We've had over 30 questions submitted. We've got over 200 of you on the call tonight, so you'll have to bear with us while we moderate all of these. I'm just going to tee you up for our next speaker now, who joins us from Xaverian. So I'll introduce you to Olivia and let her say hello whilst I pop her slides on the screen. Welcome, Olivia.
Thanks, Caroline. Just to echo what everyone else has said, this evening's such a great event, and it's so lovely to hear from all of the other colleges as well. It's a really exciting time for young people at the moment to be exploring all of the options available to them in their next steps, and they are spoilt for choice. There are so many fantastic colleges across Greater Manchester that they can choose from, and lots of different pathways available to them. Here at Xaverian, we are a Catholic college based in Greater Manchester. We're home to just short of 3,000 students, and what's really unique about our community is that students join us from over 120 different high schools. So it's really vibrant, it's really diverse, but all of our students are aged 16 to 19. Now we're based, sorry, next slide please, Caroline. Now we're based just in Rusholme, so certainly not going to be the closest college to some of you. However, we are easily accessible. We're just off Wimslow Road, which is one of the busiest bus routes, and the vast majority of our students will have an hour pass so that they can get free travel across the city as well. And essentially what we do as a college is we provide our students with the skills, the experiences and the qualifications that they're going to need to go on to their future career or higher level study. Next slide please, Caroline. Now we have students choose us for lots of different reasons, one of which is that we have a very long tradition of achieving excellent results. Now you'll see from the statistics on screen, this year was no different. We had a 98% pass rate in A level and a 99% pass rate in our BTEC subjects, with over 75% of students achieving those high grades. But that's not the only reason students choose to come and study with us. We've been around for over 160 years now, so we're pretty confident when we say we know what we're doing when it comes to education. Each and every year we continue to put significant investment into our equipment and facilities to ensure that our students are learning in the very best environment. We offer a really wide range of enrichment, volunteering, trips and visits, which I'll touch upon shortly. We're winners and finalists in lots of awards and competitions, and we work really closely with lots of universities and businesses as well. Next slide, please. Something that we're really proud of is that earlier this year we were also rated outstanding by Ofsted. One of the comments that really stood out to us in the report is that students are proud to be Xaverians. Now they want to be a part of our community, they enjoy being a part of our community, and the college really does stick with them when they progress on to their next steps. Next slide please. Now I was going to play a really short video now, but just because of some sound issues earlier, I'm going to skip past it, and we are going to post the link in the chat, but it's definitely worth a watch. You can hear from some of other staff, some other students about their experience of the college as well. Now we are predominantly an A-level college, so as mentioned earlier, they're the more traditional courses. They're mostly exam based. Students come and choose 3 different A-level subjects to study with us. They do combine really nicely with additional courses like EPQ and core maths, but we do also have a range of applied courses which are equivalent to A-levels, but they can be more practical. It's that mixture of coursework and exams. And if that student knows what they want to specialise in, they can just focus on that one single course. We do also have an option where you can study A-levels along with applied courses as well. Next slide, please. Now, we've got over 30 different A-level subjects that you can choose from. Lots of these will be familiar. It's your English, your maths, your sciences, but there's lots of subjects we've got that students might never have heard of before, might not have had the opportunity to study before, things like ancient history, classical civilization, politics, sociology. So it's really important that you're going away to do your research to find the perfect courses for you. And next slide, please, Caroline. And our 7 applied courses as well. So like I say, these are the ones that if you want to specialise in one single subject, you can just study one of these. Next slide, please. We do also have a partnership with the Manchester Giants basketball team. So if your young person is a keen basketballer, they're already playing at a good level, they can apply to our basketball academy. And essentially what this means is that you'd be training with the pro team and their coaches a few times a week alongside academic studies. And we do encourage students that apply for the academy to take at least 1 block of sport BTEC as well. And this is something that unfortunately at the moment is only available for lads. Next slide, please, Caroline. Now, it's not all about academic success at the college. We really want to promote all of the experiences outside of the classroom for students to get involved in. So we have a really big enrichment programme. It's called Xaverian Extras. It's something we relaunched last year. Our 3 most popular enrichment programmes are typically the EPQ, so the Extended Project Qualification, our MDV programme, so if students are aspiring to be a medic, a dentist or a vet, we've got a programme designed around that, which is in partnership with the University of Manchester. Our Oxbridge programme is also really popular. We do have really big sports teams, a really big music and drama department, but we have lots of things that are just there for fun as well. Things like Crafty Corner, creative writing and chess club, so that there really is something for everyone. Next slide, please. And all of this is leading onto where the student wants to go to next. So the vast majority of our students come to us knowing that they want to go on to study at university. And we help them get there. Degree apprenticeships are becoming more and more popular. So this year we had students go on to study degree apprenticeships at Deloitte and Amazon, which aren't just big UK-based companies, they're big global companies. So they've really got that first foot in the door with those employers. But we also have students that go on to study take gap years or go straight into employment. You know, it's okay if you can't think that far into the future just yet and you're unsure about your next steps post college. Our job as a college to help you get there and to figure that out, and all of that support is available. So you'll have access to a fantastic careers team and lots of support from universities and employers as well to help you think that through. Next slide, please. And all of this is tied together with our student support. So as I've just mentioned, you'll have access to careers, advice and guidance, pastoral care, financial support, learning support. We know that support is what enables our students to grow and really achieve their ambitions. So we have a really big support programme in place for everyone to access. Next slide, please. So if you are a student or a parent of a young person that is interested in coming to study at Xaverian, we have a paper-based application form, so it's really important that the handwriting is really neat. Every section of that form is filled out correctly so that it doesn't delay us making a decision. In terms of entry requirements, we're looking at 6 good GCSE passes, so 2 of which will need to be at grade 6 or above. The rest, ideally grade 4s and 5s, but some courses will have specific entry requirements. So, for example, if you want to study a maths A level, you need to be getting a 7 in your maths GCSE. So before you submit that application, it's important that you check those specific entry requirements to make sure that you meet them for the courses that you wish to study. We also ask for a personal statement, so we want to get to know more about the student, what their aspirations are, how they think studying at the college can help them get there. We like to know things that you're doing outside of school, whether that's sports, whether it's volunteering, and just a little bit more about you, really. We also do ask for a school reference as well, so we will like to know about attendance, punctuality, behaviour and effort. We've got lots of you may have visited us at our first open day last weekend, but we've got our next one coming up this Sunday. All of that will be followed by taster days before our January deadline for application. Following that, we will keep in touch through lots of different ways, like course consultations, new students days, and then finally your enrolment after GCSE results day. Next slide, please. Yeah, so our open day on Sunday is the best opportunity to come and visit us. Sunday the 15th, pre-register online or just pop in on the day. We're open 10:30 till 2. We'd love to see you, would love to show you around campus. I will answer any questions that have cropped up in the Q&A, and have a lovely evening, everyone.
Brilliant, thank you so much, Olivia. A really nice roundup there of everything that Xaverian's got to offer, and we've had some nice comments in the chat as well about people who've been on open days, I believe. So thank you very much. And a couple of questions about booking on, so if you could reply to that now, that'd be great. I think pretty much everyone who's submitted a question so far has got an answer. For those who are still waiting, we're getting round to you. Please do bear with us. Our next speaker for tonight joins us from Damar Training, so a little bit different. We wanted to make sure that we were having the full coverage of different providers. So we're joined now by Sabina, who's going to be talking to us a little bit about oh no, sorry, I've completely missed the schedule. We're going to be joined by Sophie instead at the Manchester College. Sorry, Sophie, I nearly missed you out tonight. I was thinking that we were a little bit more ahead than we were. So I'll pop off Sophie. Sophie's going to talk about the Manchester College. I'll tee up your presentation slides for you now, and then we will get to Sabina next. 3 more presentations for us tonight, and then we'll try and get round to some of your questions before we get finished. So over to you now, Sophie.
All right, thank you, Caroline. Just wanted to say thank you for obviously inviting us on tonight, speaking on behalf of the Manchester College. So my name's Sophie. I work on the school liaison team at the Manchester College. So obviously we're going to go through with Manchester College and what we have to offer. We are a really big college. We are actually spread across 5 different campuses, but I will talk about that in a minute. Okay, so when you finish in year 11, you've got your options, as you've heard from the other colleges, of your A levels, vocational courses, T levels and apprenticeships. At the Manchester College, we don't offer A levels, we just offer the 3 pathways that are on the screen now. So this is just sort of a little bit of a, as you're probably thinking they're all quite similar, but these are sort of the differences on the screen now. So just quickly, vocational courses at the Manchester College, we offer about 15 days work experience alongside your course. It's all coursework and assessments. You don't sit exams, and it's available from entry level all the way up to level 3. A T level, as Caroline mentioned at the beginning, it's 80% classroom and 20% workplace. It's a good chunk of work experience that you would get on a T level. You would get a 45-day industry placement. You also would sit coursework and assessments like you would a vocational course, but you would also be required to sit exams like you would with A levels. T levels are quite similar to A levels in the fact that they are academic, but they have got that obviously technical placement side as well. T levels are just available at level 3. But we do offer a level 2 transition programme. If you don't quite get the grades, you can go on to the transition stage and then progress on to the full T level after. T level is a 2-year programme. It's a lot, like I said, it's a level 3. Apprenticeships, you can see that switch between T-levels and apprenticeship, so 20% classroom and 80% workplace, again, as Caroline mentioned before. Obviously, you're applying for a job and you might just spend 1 day a week in a classroom or at college. They all offer progression onto university. So, okay, Caroline, it's fine. They all offer progression onto university, and obviously the main difference with apprenticeships is you are paid a wage. Obviously, your T-levels and vocational courses, you're not paid a wage. Okay, next slide, Caroline, thanks. Okay, so these are the study programmes that we offer at the Manchester College. So these are sort of overall what we offer, but there are different specialisms that fall within each subject area. So, for example, childhood studies, we've got assisting teaching and an early years educator course. Construction, we've got lots and lots of different construction courses, such as plastering, joinery, building, painting and decorating, lots and lots of different courses. So these are sort of an overview, but you have got different options within each one. Okay, so T-level, so briefly, just to go over T-levels, the T stands for technical, they're a technical level. As I said, they're a 2-year programme and they are the equivalent to 3 A-levels. You get a 45-day industry placement, so that might be a block placement or it might be spread across a few weeks over the 2 years. We're developed in collaboration with key employers, which I will go through in a minute. And it's a combination of theory, practical and classroom learning. You can progress directly into employment, you can go on to further technical study, higher apprenticeships or onto university. So these are the programmes that we offer at T-level currently. So we've currently got 10 T-levels that we offer. And again, as I said before, there's different courses that fall within each subject area. So hair and beauty and aesthetics, we've actually spread between hair and beauty therapy and barbering. Health and healthcare science, we have an adult nursing course. There's all different sort of specialisms that fall within. So we'll just check on our website to see the different courses that we offer in those areas. Okay, so the entry requirements that we ask for T-levels is a minimum of 5 GCSEs, grade 4 or above, but it has to include your English and maths. So it's really important at T-level. As I said, we do have a transition programme, so if you don't quite get English or maths at GCSE, you can still go into a T-level, but you just have to do that transition stage as well. So that adds another year onto your time at college. So overall, it would be 3 years. If you do get your maths and English, obviously you just go straight onto that T-level, which is a 2-year programme. And I would just check, like I said, on our website, some of them do differ slightly. So those are the general requirements. But for some construction courses, for example, we ask for a grade 5 or above in science. If you're doing a health and social care, health and healthcare science T-level, we want science to be included in there as well. Okay, so some of the employers that we're partnered up with are on the screen now. So whatever you do at the Manchester College, you will get some form of work experience. So hopefully you'd recognise some names on there. We work very closely with the NHS. We have excellent NHS standard facilities on site. We have SIMMEN, we have a mock hospital ward, we have an elderly care facility. We'll work closely with the NHS, but also the NHS will come in and do masterclasses with us as well. So location, so you might have seen this building. This is our brand new city campus in the centre of Manchester. Caroline, if you just go to the next slide, please. Okay, so we are based, like I said, across Greater Manchester. So we've got 5 different campuses. In the north, we've got Harper-Hay. In the east, we've got Openshaw campus. So that's near the Etihad Stadium. We've got 2 in the centre of Manchester, which are Sheena Simon and City Campus. And then we've got Wythenshawe in South Manchester. Okay, so USEN Manchester is a university provider that we're partnered up with. So I won't go into detail about this. It may seem a while off, but it is actually a good idea to sort of look into universities, maybe look at their entry requirements, and that might help determine what you choose at college, and to see what they're looking for. But this is a provider that we work with. We work with lots of employers, as you could see on the screen, and then if you do a T level with us, you are guaranteed that progression onto USEN as well. Obviously, you can go to any university, that's just another option. So apprenticeships, we're also partnered with a company called Total People who do apprenticeships. What I would do if you are interested in apprenticeships is have a look at their website. It's about what's available at that time for when it comes to apprenticeships, like we said, you're applying for a job. So maybe about May, June time, we would ask you to, in year 11, we would ask you to look at applying for apprenticeships. But what I would say is they are very competitive. So you have all your college deadlines coming up now. So I would still apply for a college course just as a backup in case you don't get onto that apprenticeship. Okay, so travel with the Manchester College. So as some of the other colleges mentioned, there is the hour pass. So as far as I know, everybody's eligible for that if you live in Greater Manchester. It is £10 a year, but when you come to the Manchester College, we do reimburse that, so it is free travel. We also have TMC Go, which is unique to the Manchester College. A lot of our campuses, they are very accessible, whether that's by bus, train or tram. So the TMC Go gives you sort of discount or free travel on train and tram as well. Just have a look on our website at the travel page. You can fill in an eligibility quiz, see if you're eligible for that. Okay, so the support at the Manchester College, we have careers and employability and welfare services. So if you have any questions about you've got an interview coming up, you need help with interview skills, CV writing, you can speak to them. We have the student experience team on hand at all sites, so any safeguarding concerns, you can go and chat with them. We have our transition team, so they if you have like an EHCP or a SEND need, then we just make sure that you declare that on your application form, and we can make sure that support is in place. Okay, Caroline, if you go to, yeah, that's it. We're coming to the end. Okay, so open events. So it is this Thursday on the 12th of October, 5 till 7 in the evening. It is available, it's on across all sites, so all 5 campuses. So if you are interested, please have a look on our website. You can register on there and it will tell you what courses we offer at each campus. So make sure you register for the right campus. Okay, and I know we need to wrap up now. So thank you so much for listening. If you do have any questions, please write them in the chat. Thank you, Caroline.
Brilliant. Thanks, Sophie. I know that there is so much to get through tonight, so I really do appreciate everybody keeping to time, so we've got a chance to move on to all of the different presenters. But thank you for that. There was a lot of information in there, so if you've got questions for Sophie at the Manchester College, please do pop them in the chat for me now. Next, as promised, we come on to a little bit more information all about apprenticeship, so I'm going to pass you straight over to Sabina at Damar Training whilst I tee up your slides. Over to you, Sabina.
Thank you very much, Caroline, and thank you so much for organising the event tonight. I mean, it's been great to hear from the other speakers. So just to sort of talk about a little bit of what I do. So I'm one of the recruitment coordinators here at Damar Training, and my role is predominantly to support candidates into apprenticeship opportunities. So the 2 main paths that we do that by is we advertise vacancies. So you might have come across our vacancies on the gov.uk website, Get My First Job, or even directly on the Damar Training website. But we also proactively share candidate profiles with our partner employers to source suitable opportunities for anyone looking for apprenticeships in the sectors that we deliver qualifications in. So a little bit about Damar training. We've got a 40-year history. So originally we started off in Stockport, and more recently we are located in the city centre of Manchester, so literally right outside Piccadilly train station. We're one of the leading providers for business and professional apprenticeships. Our coverage is national, so we don't just deliver in Greater Manchester, we don't just deliver in Stockport, we cover all of England. In terms of the organisations that we work with smaller organisations, larger organisations, and I'll go through in a bit more detail the sort of qualifications that we deliver shortly. We support employers when it comes to upskilling existing members of staff. We can also work with new students that are looking to start their career through apprenticeship opportunities as well. And more recently, we were rated as good by Ofsted. Just to go through some of the facts versus myths of apprenticeship. So when it comes to facts for apprenticeships, they are amazing opportunities that help people progress, kickstart their career through that practical hands-on experience in a workplace environment. You're getting exactly what a full-time employee that maybe has been in a business for multiple years when it comes to your holiday allowance, bank holidays. So it's not just a case of you're stepping into something and you are treated differently just because you are an apprentice. A lot of employers out there are realising the benefits of apprentices and people bringing that new wave of talent in organisations, and pretty much you can get apprenticeships in anything. I mean, we're delivering solicitor apprenticeships, data protection apprenticeships, accounting apprenticeships, and 90% of apprentices go on to secure full-time employment with their employer. So whether that be sort of progressing on to high-level qualifications or just staying in a full-time position within that organisation. Misconceptions of apprenticeships can be that they're not classed as a proper job, that they're for people who didn't do well at school, they're only the manual industries, that you're not going to get a job at the end of it, and they're not as valuable as going to college or going to university. But as I've mentioned, there are so many apprenticeships out there that we also deliver. Just the next slide, please. Thank you. So advantages of apprenticeships: you're developing work-based skills, getting the experience. You're working alongside people who are expertise in that sector, learning firsthand from them, getting that practical experience that you need to be able to progress within the workplace environment. You're getting a recognised qualification at the end of the apprenticeship. You're building a solid foundation for your future. So again, progressing onto full-time positions, higher level qualifications, onto different industries, different sectors. Opportunities are limitless. You're getting paid whilst you're doing it, so you have that sense of independence and freedom that comes with generating a salary from the work that you are doing. So whether it be that you're looking to take driving lessons in the future, looking to move out, you're starting that sort of building that savings pot for yourself through getting that salary, and you're not having the worry of getting into debt as you may do if, let's say, you were to go down the traditional route of going to university. So in a nutshell, what is an apprenticeship? You're getting a nationally recognised qualification, so you're testing the knowledge, skills and behaviour within the sector that you are working in. The syllabus is set against a national standard, and you're getting that practical hands-on experience in a workplace alongside working a full-time job. So to sum up apprenticeships in three portions, you have the enrolment onto the apprenticeship programme, then you'll have the actual learning of the apprenticeship. So that'll consist of online webinars that you'll be attending, coaching meetings that you'll have with your Damar coach, any assessments, as well as doing your online journal entry. So it's protected time as part of your working week. So not evening work, not weekend work, but part of your Monday to Friday that you'll be working in the workplace. And then the endpoint assessment, which usually consists of a portfolio or a professional discussion, and then you get your qualification. Some of the qualifications that we deliver are on screen. So we do accountancy, business admin with medical pathway, legal admin, customer service, data protection, paralegal, solicitor and travel. And listed up on the screen are some of the organisations, the partner employers that we work with. So you've got your large travel employers, Irwin Mitchell, you've got Aldermore Bank, Bennett Verby. We also work with the NHS and councils. And here are some links to some of the toolkits that we use. So we do a lot of employability work with the candidates and the students that we work with. So whether that be sort of CV writing, interview preparation, searching for apprenticeships, and you can also find a lot of case studies on our website as well. So you can hear from apprentices that have been with Damar and are currently with Damar as well. Brill, thank you for listening.
Short and sweet, but yeah, we've had a couple of questions come in about apprenticeships that have been submitted via social media tonight, Sabina. So if you're okay, I'm going to switch to Lynette, our final presenter from GC Education and Skills first, so that everybody who wants to finish on time has got the opportunity to do so. But if you're all right hanging around, if anybody wants to hear the answers to some of those questions about apprenticeships, I'm sure Sabina will be very happy to just go through with those those at the end. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our final presenter for tonight. Thank you very much for everybody waiting around. There has been quite a few questions already that Lynette has responded to on the chat about different grades and alternative types of provision. Lynette joins us from the Growth Company, so I'll let her introduce herself now whilst I tee up your slides. Thanks, Lynette.
Hi, thanks Caroline, and good evening everybody. Thank you for staying on waiting to hear our presentation. My name's Lynette, I work for the Growth Company. My role, I'm the marketing manager. Can I have my first slide please?
Yeah, it's on its way, Lynette, just give us a second.
No problem, I'll carry on. Thanks Sabina, you've covered off a lot about apprenticeship, so I shouldn't keep you too long now this evening. So the Growth Company are a training provider. We have over 30 years experience of delivering apprenticeships and training. Like colleges, we're Ofsted inspected, and in our last inspection we were recognised as a good training provider. Our main head office is based in Manchester City Centre, facing the Palace Theatre, but we also have 10 centres in Greater Manchester and a centre in St Helens. We do have a training centre in Stockport Town Centre, and also close by we have our Greater Manchester Skills Centre, which is in Trafford Park. The Greater Manchester Skills Centre focuses on construction, motor vehicle and engineering. And then we also offer vocational courses at our Stockport Training Centre. We do offer a free minibus service for anybody wanting to go to the Trafford Park Centre. That's a free minibus service. It picks you up from Stockport Town Centre and drops you straight at our centre. In addition to apprenticeships, we also offer pre-apprenticeships. So we understand that when you leave school, not everybody is ready to go into the workplace and start an apprenticeship. So a pre-apprenticeship, also known sometimes as a study programme, so you may hear it called one or the other, they're aimed at helping young people build a strong foundation in their chosen trade. So it will give you the experience, hands-on experience, to then progress and be more successful in your apprenticeship programme. Whilst on a pre-apprenticeship, you will gain a recognised qualification. And if you didn't already achieve your maths and English skills, you'll be able to do them alongside your pre-apprenticeship. So I know some people have commented, I did ask questions about what if you don't get your GCSEs. Don't worry, we know the pressure on all the young people at the moment. So please, there are options available if you don't get those 4s or above. Whilst on a pre-apprenticeship, you will get the work experience, which is where you'll gain your hands-on experience. You'll do enrichment activities, employability skills, which will help you with your applications, your interview skills. We also offer additional support in our training centres, lots of one-to-one support with designated key workers. There are also bursaries available of up to £50 per week. All our centres offer free breakfast clubs for all our learners, and there are free hot drinks and kitchen facilities to use throughout the day. So that's a little bit about the pre-apprenticeships, and then just let me check what slide are we on. Can you just go back a slide for me? Okay, so There are our centres. So we also have a new centre in Trafford Park, which is the Green Skills Academy. That's focusing on our green technology. And then we offer apprenticeships. Sabina has gone through the apprenticeship offer, so that saved me going through everything. But as I say, you will on an apprenticeship, you will gain a salary. You will get holidays like a full employee will get holidays, and you will also gain a recognised qualification at the end of your apprenticeship. Apprenticeships can last for anything from about 18 months up to 5 years, depending on the level of your apprenticeship. And then way down the line, we also offer degrees and teacher training. All right, if you can just pop to my next slide, please. Okay, so these are some of the technical courses that we offer. So as you can see, we do offer a wide range of subjects in various trades. So the majority of these ones, we do offer construction at some of our training centres, but the majority of our technical ones are delivered at the Green Skills Academy or our Greater Manchester Skills Centre, which is in Trafford Park. And then we offer, if you can go to my next slide, please. Oh, have I missed a slide? So we do offer your professional and business. Have I go back one? A slide's gone missing. I do apologise. So, oh, there you go. So we do offer professional healthcare and education. So we do your business, financial, IT, marketing, teaching, you name it, we do it at the Grove Company. But our details are on the last slide. So if there is any questions that you do have, we do still have, you can apply now for next September. We also offer summer programmes at our training centres as well. So once you leave school, if you wanted to do some employability skills, get your digital skills up, enrichment activities, and just get a taster for one of our centres, they start on the 1st of August and bursaries available at those as well. There's our website on the screen now. You can view all our live apprenticeship vacancies. There's our telephone number if you have any questions at all, or you can drop us an email. But do please get in touch if you've got any questions at all. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, thanks Lynette. Sorry about the issues with the slides, jumping around a little bit.
I thought I'd deleted one by accident, that's fine.
I think that we got everything across in the end. So thank you very much. I hope you have all enjoyed our presentations for this evening. We've had 8 absolutely fantastic presenters. So as we draw to a close, all it leaves me to say is thank you very much to all of them for giving up their evening tonight, and to you at home. I know that there's lots of different things happening throughout the course of a week, from clubs to homework to dinner and all the rest of it. So really do appreciate you taking the time out to join us this evening. I hope you found it useful to get a bit of an overview of all of the different providers, but also have an opportunity really to ask your questions too. If anybody has got any final questions, we'll be going through some of the ones shortly that have been submitted on social media. You're welcome to stay around and hear the answers to those. For anyone who's popped a question in the chat and hasn't had a reply as of yet, I know some of the presenters have had difficulty responding to them, so we're going to try and add them in now as they sent us responses over email instead. As I say, all of the questions and the answers will be published on a web page, and we'll send that out to you via the booking link on Eventbrite, and we'll also post it on our social media pages as well. Don't forget that we've got that next event coming up on Thursday for post-18 careers evening. So if you want to hear the same again from universities, degree apprenticeship providers, and some alternatives, kind of adult education, starting your own business, that kind of thing, we've got the whole host of that coming up on Thursday. And all of the information for Post-16 Careers Week is still available on the Stockport Jobs Match website and will be throughout the academic year. So there's a whole host of planning tools there. Hopefully, year 10 and 11 students we'll be having lots of this delivered in practical sessions throughout the course of the week, in assemblies, form time, with homework set as well. So do please ask your young people how they have had careers provision made available to them during school time this week, but also be sure to have those conversations at home. So I'm just going to switch now to some of the questions that we've had come through social media. So first of all, I'm just going to do the apprenticeship one first, because I know that we struggled a little bit for time. So I've got 2 on apprenticeships. The first one, I'll give the first one to Sabina, and then I'll ask you as well, Lynette, and anyone else can jump in who wants to regarding apprenticeships. So the first question, Sabina, is when do apprenticeships start? I'm worried about not getting one and then having nothing to start in September time. So are you able to answer that for us?
Yes, of course. So Damar Training actually recruit apprentices 365 days a year. So we have vacancies that go live every single week. So we're always recruiting for opportunities. There are certain employers that we work with, some of the larger organisations that do have set start dates for September. And if it's the case of that potentially these might be opportunities that you are interested in, then by all means, if you get in touch with myself, with Damar Training directly, we can make you aware of those opportunities and when recruitment does start, because we've got an active mailing list and keep you updated. But when it comes to a lot of the business admin, customer service, accounting, legal, everything we recruit for 365 days a year. And as I've mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, even if we don't have a vacancy that is live, we will proactively work with you and work with our partner employers to share your profile and help you source something as well.
Sorry, on mute. Yeah, I was just saying thank you, Sabina. As with all of the providers tonight, it is very much the case that they advertise the opportunities on their website. So if you've heard one of the colleges talk about apprenticeships tonight, you can go on their website and see the vacancies advertised there. Otherwise, you apply for apprenticeships all year round like a job, so they are available at lots of different times. Whilst you're waiting for an apprenticeship to start, there are also other things that you can be doing, other short courses that you can do, online courses, or obviously part-time employment or volunteering whilst you're waiting for that to start. There's websites like apprenticeship.gov.uk and also Get My First Job, and you can also have a look at apprenticeships on the Stockport Jobs Match as well. Next, I just wanted to ask this one to you, Lynette, seeing as we were talking about apprenticeships. Somebody has put on Twitter, can you do an apprenticeship if you don't have GCSE English or Maths?
It depends on the actual qualification that you're going to be doing. So that would depend on the apprenticeship that you want to do. For example, if you wanted to do an engineering apprenticeship, then yes, you would have to have your GCSEs. However, some may accept alternatives, so your functional skills, and some you may be able to do it alongside. So it's hard to say without knowing the exact apprenticeship standard that you would like to do. But please, if you've got an apprenticeship in mind, drop us a line and we can certainly look into that. But that's where your pre-apprenticeships can come in great use, because you can do your maths and English alongside of them, and also you get embedded your extra employability skills as well.
Brilliant, thank you very much, Lynette. The next one I'm going to give to Sophie, if that's okay, Sophie. So somebody has put on here, I'm not sure whether it was specifically in reference to the Manchester College. I can certainly ask Michelle at Stockport College as well, but it says, how do I find the work placement if I do a T-level? Will I be offered work experience if I do A-levels or a BTEC instead, or is it just with T-levels? So a bit of the two combined, really. How does the work placement element work?
Yes, so sorry. Yeah, for T-levels, we provide that for you, so you wouldn't have to find your own work placement. We would find that for you, and it would be relevant to obviously the course that you're applying for and that sort of industry. So yeah, you don't need to worry about that. We would find that for you.
Perfect. I think that is the same with most places, that they will support you in that T-level placement, that you put all of those fantastic employers on the screen of the logos of companies that you work with, that you set up those partnerships before you offer the T-level in place. Another one on T-levels that I'm going to ask to you, Michelle, if that's okay. You'll just need to unmute yourself for me. There was a bit of feedback before, so all the presenters went on mute. So just take yourself off mute for me. So this is a bit of a compare and contrast, I suppose. It says, which is better for your CV or job prospects, doing A-levels in accountancy, maths and business, or a T-level in accounting?
I'd say it's down to personal choice, really. I mean, in terms of your job prospects, T-levels are relatively new, aren't they? But they are being widely used now, and people are accessing T-levels quite readily. So I would say that's going to go down to
Oh, I think we're struggling a little bit with your
T-level is worth levels.
Yeah, I think we're struggling a little bit with your sound there, Michelle. Yeah, sorry, I think we're losing Michelle. She just dropped off the call. We're still here, don't worry. I've got a couple more questions that I just wanted to ask.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Do you want to have another try?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So the question around which is best, the A-level route or T-level, is down to personal choice. Are a relatively new qualification, but they are being widely publicised and used, and there were 3 A-levels. They do have the added benefit of giving you that 20% of industry placement, which is bought out by the college. So you don't need to worry about. So it is a great all-rounder, but it's a personal preference, really.
Brilliant, that's great. Thank you very much, Michelle. Sorry, we seem to be losing you in and out. I'm just going to move to a last couple of questions now, and I'm going to ask Helen at Hazel Grove and Olivia at Xaverian to just come in on these ones if they don't mind. So they've asked, when and how do I find out if I've got a place? So what does that, we obviously talked tonight about the application process, didn't we? But what does it look like after that, after you've submitted your application, what actually happens next? Helen, I'll ask you to go first with that.
Okay, right then. So we open our application process just after the open evening in November, start of November, and then we close those applications. So all our applications come in over a month. So by December, mid-December, those applications are closed. Then students are invited to interview in January, February. So they get a chance to come and meet us as well and have a proper look around the facilities that we offer. And then students, usually on interview day, students receive an offer from us and a welcome pack to take away with them.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Helen. And Olivia, is it different for you guys?
Slightly. Our application deadline is mid-January. Between kind of January and March, April, we would make all of our offers and host course consultations. So we would invite students that are offered a place to a course consultation. It's not an interview, it's just a chat with one of our teachers so that they can ensure that we've got them on the right courses, find out a little bit more about them. We offer our places based on the application form, so if you are invited to a course consultation, then you have your place at college.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. I think it's safe to say check on the college website. There should be some more information on there about what happens next and how they'll get back to you. One last question. I'm going to finish with you, Danny, if that's okay for tonight. Where have I put the question? We've had quite a few about what happens if you don't get results. I feel like we've covered that off. So I'm going to go to the one that says, what happens if I don't like my course or I want to change subject? And someone else has posted something similar to that and said, is it better to choose, say, 4 A-levels and then maybe drop the one that you enjoy the least? Is that an option? What would you recommend?
Okay, it depends on the student. If you are really tied between 2 subjects, on occasion we will say to students, well, maybe in the first couple of weeks just try out the 4 and drop down. Largely though, we do get some flux over the first few weeks of your course. The best thing is to be on the course that you want to do at the start, but we obviously want, our learners to be really happy on the course that they're in. So yeah, you can change things around. It's not a problem at all, because from you're at high school at the moment, your GCSE results, and then you come to us and you try things out. So the best thing is make sure you visit open days, sign up the taster days at the college as well to get a flavour of the subject in progress. But no, there will always be an opportunity to change. We don't want to keep that too long, but if you are really torn between 2 subjects and you've got 3 and maybe a 4th subject, really look at the EPQ option. You can still show your prowess in you know, A-level history, for instance, and do your other 3 subjects and do that as an EPQ project instead. So that way you don't really need to drop the subject. You can keep it within your curriculum options, but it's in addition to your programme of study.
Brilliant. That is a fantastic way to finish off for tonight. I am sorry that we've not got a chance to answer everybody's questions individually. As I say, we will put the answers to those online. Thank you once again for joining us this evening. Be sure to take a look at our website for information. We've also got a dedicated Instagram account that you can take a look at this year at Post-16 Careers. So be sure to give that a follow. There's some fantastic top tips and little videos on there as well. I've been Caroline from Stockport Jobs Match. Thank you once again for joining us, and we'll also send out a recording in case you want to watch anything back or share it with your friends afterwards. I hope you have a fantastic rest of Post-16 Careers Week and that we've helped to spark those conversations and start you having good ideas about what happens next. Thank you.